My dad always told me I was a failure, until the neighbor said, "I wish I had a son like you." His face went pale. We were in the garage when I heard my father's voice explode. "You're absolutely useless, you know that? That's a 9/16, not a half inch. Even your 12-year-old sister would know the difference." He yanked the tool from my hand, his face already red with that familiar rage that seemed reserved exclusively for me. "Dad, you don't need to yell. I'm standing right here," I said quietly, trying to keep my voice steady even as my hands started to shake. "Don't tell me how to talk in my own garage." The wrench was slammed down on the workbench, making every tool jump. "This is exactly your problem. Soft, sensitive, always on those damn computers instead of learning how to be a real man. When I was 18, I could rebuild an entire engine blindfolded. You're a complete failure." I started to mention my honors program acceptance letter that had arrived yesterday, but he cut me off with a dismissive wave. "That's not real work. That's just sitting on your butt pushing buttons all day. You want to know what you are? You're an embarrassment." I just walked out of the garage without another word, my face burning with a mixture of shame and rage. I ran to the street and nearly collided with Mr. Garcia from next door, who was struggling with a large box on his driveway. "Oh, hey there, son. Perfect timing," he said, setting the box down with obvious relief. He always calls me son, even though I'm just his neighbor. "I just bought this new home security system, but the instructions might as well be in ancient Greek. You're good with technology, aren't you?" I nodded, grateful for any distraction from the echo of my father's voice. But as we went into his garage, he noticed the expression on my face and asked, "You okay, son?" The question broke something in me. "My dad hates me," I blurted out. "Nothing I do is ever good enough." Mr. Garcia sighed and then put his hand on my shoulder. "Don't worry, kid. Parents don't always see what they have. Doesn't mean you're not valuable." I nodded and started working on setting up the cameras with surprising precision. "Your sisters were just here yesterday, actually," Mr. Garcia mentioned casually. "Helped me organize my garage. Your dad doesn't like them coming over here, though, does he?" Of course he doesn't. Dad hates how much my sisters prefer talking to Mr. Garcia over him. Within 40 minutes, I had the entire system configured and the cameras positioned optimally. I even set up the app on Mr. Garcia's phone with custom notifications. "This is incredible," he said, testing the night vision feature. "The installation guide said this would take 2 professionals at least 3 hours, but you did it all by yourself." I felt myself relaxing for the first time all day. That's when my father's voice suddenly boomed across both driveways. "Where the hell did you go? I need the oil pan." Mr. Garcia and I walked back outside to find my father standing between our properties, his arms crossed, that vein in his forehead already prominent. "What were you doing over there?" he demanded, his eyes narrowing as he took in the smile on Mr. Garcia's face. "Your son just installed my entire security system," Mr. Garcia said, his voice warm with genuine appreciation. 8 cameras, motion sensors, smartphone integration, everything. He even programmed custom zones so I won't get alerts from the cat, but will if someone approaches my garage. My father's expression flickered, caught between his default dismissiveness and something else. Surprise? Maybe even concern. He should have been helping me. We were in the middle of something important. Mr. Garcia looked at the tablet screen, then at me, then finally at my father with an expression I couldn't quite read. "Important?" he repeated, then shook his head with a small smile. "You know, Tom, I've been listening to you work on that Mustang for 3 years now. It's a beautiful hobby, but your son just demonstrated skills that companies pay 6 figures for. He solved problems in minutes that would have cost me a fortune and days of frustration." He put his hand on my shoulder, the weight of it firm and reassuring. "I wish I had a son like you. My wife and I never got that chance." My father's jaw clenched. "Don't fill his head with nonsense, Garcia. Real work is with your hands, not..." "Tom," Mr. Garcia said, his voice suddenly sharp, "I run a construction company. I know what real work is, but I also know what tech contractors charge me. Your son has a gift, and he just got a full scholarship you don't even know about." My father stood there, his mouth working silently as Mr. Garcia's words sank in. "A scholarship?" he finally managed, looking at me. "When? Why didn't you tell me?" "Because you called it sitting on my butt every time I tried to tell you," I said quietly. His shoulders sagged as my sisters came running out. "Mr. Garcia, can we reorganize your house again?" my youngest sister called. My father watched them cluster around us, and for the first time I saw him truly see it, his children choosing the neighbor over him.